Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. I do believe we are live. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And I see the crew is hot in the building. Give us a hell's yeah, give us an LFG if you are with us. And I do see the crew is here. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Freo Photos. We got Musa, MK Crypt. Let's go, Spyro, Salvation. Lovely to see you all in the building. Daily insights. All right, so keep the chat hot, guys. I'm going to go quite quickly today. I've got a huge amount of important information to get through. Do stop me if I go too fast, but there really is opportunities, right? There are opportunities and there's a lot of interesting stuff happening on the charts. I'm going to try get through it all in as much of a methodological way as possible, right? I'm going to break it down all for y'all in a way that is hopefully not too confusing for you all. All right, so let's kick it off. Who's here with us? If you are here with us, drop us a chat. Let me know where in the world you are and how's your trading going, guys? Did you all milk the short? With the very obvious bearish divergence on the daily, triple bearish divergence on the 12-hour. Come on, guys. If you didn't get it this time, just take it as a learning. But I'm going to take you all through it step by step. And does everybody here know what Mubite is? Are we all Mubite traders? Do we have any newbies? Let me know in the chat. How long have y'all been trading on Mubite? Let me know also, just how long you've been trading in general. It does help me. You got along, interesting. Okay, perfect. There was a beautiful golden pocket there on the daily fib. We're going to talk about that as well. I am still in the ETH short. I'm still in the BTC short. We can see that my stop loss is at break even. I have taken majority of the trade off the table, but you always got to let something ride, right? And if we do come back above my entry, I am going to scope for a re-entry back into the short. And y'all have to keep it hot in the chat today, right? I'm looking for alpha. Pablo, 3 months, 4K in withdrawals. Congrats. Well done. Those are some really nice numbers to be hearing. Well done. Also on the BTC short. Okay, great. 4 months since I started trading Mubite. Salvation. Nice. All right, guys. Shout out from Nigeria to Jeffrey. Very proud of your progress, brother. You're working hard. Pablo, welcome, welcome. Sure. My entry on BTC is 78.5. So technically still good. I do have stop at break even. But really, guys, I want you to keep the chat hot today, right? We have 5 Mubite accounts to give away, which are 5K 2-step challenges. And I'm going to base this on whoever keeps my chat the hottest with the hottest alpha. All right, so your own TA, your own trading ideas. For the first bit, let's keep it on Bitcoin. And then we're going to move to Ethereum. We're going to do market charts, and I'm going to try push as much as I can to keep some time for altcoin setups, right? There is a gold mine in altcoins right now with setups that are squeezing. Do you think BTC will short from here? I'm going to get into it, right? I'm going to get into it. We're going to do the due diligence to start, which is to zoom out. Hoping for the re-entry. Okay, I'm going to talk about where you could possibly re-enter into this short. And it's so nice to start with a naked chart, guys. Starting with a naked chart will allow you to actually see the charts for what they are and, of course, avoid that analysis paralysis. Forgive me for drinking some tea. We did a long, very hot live stream last night, so my voice might disappear on us. That's why the tea always does help. All right, guys, let's get started. And if you were in my stream last night, we're going to do a little bit of recaps, but take it as a refinement. Let's get right into it, right? I know lots of you guys are scalpers, but due diligence is to start with a naked chart and come out to the monthly, right? We have just closed the last monthly candle and opened a new monthly candle. It looks kind of morning star-ish for the price action candle readers. But there are 2 things here which are not your technical, traditional, typical morning star, which we must take note of here, which is the fact that this candle is green. We would want that to be a little red candle at the bottom. Still, in my opinion, a possible morning star with the green, but not as technically sound as we would like it to be. And then the second thing I'm not loving about the morning star is the fact that this third candle in the pattern has not engulfed the first red candle, right? That's a very important morning star factor. And now we are seeing a little bit of a continuation, of course, because this is also a harami pattern on its own, which can also act as a reversal, right? So we are seeing the harami, we are seeing movement from the harami upwards, and it's all about now on this current range, what's going to happen next. I would urge you all to zoom out to the monthly time frame, even as an SMC trader. I mean, everyone sleeps on monthly, right? But these are the trades that can fund all of your other scalping habits or day trading, right? You want to be getting these massive monthly trades in, and they are really simple as pie, right? And it's like you kick yourself looking back at these beautiful trades. The last bearish divergence, literally right at the top. If you didn't get in, I mean, you could still be milking this. It's 44, 45% down. Absolutely crazy. Very, very simple. Bearish divergence, money flow coming out. Same thing for the last one. Easy peasy, right? We should be getting these retracements, and we shouldn't be freaking out when Bitcoin's dumping, because the monthly time frame told us to short. So we should be cashing in, guys, when this monthly time frame dumps. And now what we're seeing is a potential opportunity here. Right, I know Market Cipher is a little bit complex for those of you who are new to the strategy, but we can see that the previous bottoms have been absolutely 100% called by Market Cipher on the monthly time frame, which is why you cannot sleep on it. And there is something cooking here, guys. The trigger wave is not as low below the 45 as the previous bear market bottom, but we can see, right, the Market Cipher traders are getting very hungry for higher levels on monthly timeframes right now, because you can see the squeeze is coming, guys. The squeeze is coming. The green dot is imminent. It may happen within this month. Money flow has completely switched around, right? I call it the schwips. When money flow is giving us this upwards pointing arrow, it means the whales are buying on the monthly time frame. Super, super interesting. VWAP is also heading towards the cross, right? I'm not going to go fully into Market Cipher right now because we've got so much to get through. There is a full Market Cipher free course on my channel, so check it out. VWAP is coming up to cross, which is our third level of confluence for the reversal. If this happens on the monthly, we're going to have to hop on the trend, right? Even if it seems late. Even if it seems like, oh, we should have got the trade down there. Monthly time frame, right? We could be looking at a retest of 100K, which means if this green dot prints and confirms, I'm going to hop on the monthly trend back up to retest the tippy tops, right? Because we broke structure here, we could be heading for a lower high. It just makes sense. And that's a trade we have to catch, guys, because that can fund all of your day trading and your scalping, right? That can fund buying Mubite accounts to scalp and day trade. We can see lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. And then all of a sudden that changed, where we very clearly printed a lower low. And what that means technically, of course, Trump can flip this on our head, the whales can flip this on our head, but we do run on technical market structure. So now we are looking for a lower high, and that can come in anywhere here. And we've been speaking about this for months, right? We were speaking about this when we first got the big short. We're saying if we go below here, then we're going to be looking for the long somewhere in this section up for the lower high, and that's the next massive monthly long. And even for the SMC, guys, do not sleep on the monthly time frame, guys. Look at this market structure to the downside. Boom. Market structure broken, right? Change of character, break of structure. I know I've got SMC traders in the building. Impulse move, previous red candle. Boom. Sniper entry on the monthly. Lovely, lovely profits from the reaction at the order block, 24% up. Do not sleep on the monthly time frame. Yeah, we're starting with Bitcoin and we are zooming out, right? We can see also RSI is supporting the potential reversal and bull move from here, because if we look historically at the RSI, it is around these levels that we do turn around. RSI does not like to ever go into oversold on the monthly time frame, because Bitcoin is such a game changer of an asset. Also nice to see that stochastic is trending upwards, right? We do not trust the stochastic until these two trending lines, one being the stochastic RSI and one being the stochastic RSI's slow moving average, right? Stochastic is a beautiful version of the RSI, and I rhyme it with my regular RSI. And very interesting when we're going to go down to the weekly right now. But we only trust it first when we see the trend. We can see they're both trending now. When we cross back into the momentum zone with trending, that is our long signal. We can see here, crossing, fake outs, rodeo all the way, and actually just more dump, right? Then we see the trend and we start to get hungry. Then we see the crossover with the trending stochastic RSIs into the momentum zone, and that was the point to go long. All right, so everyone follow me. I'm going to move a little bit fast today. Please let me know if I do go too fast. But guys, it's crazy. It's crazy. Look what we have to get through, right? It's not chill. It's not chill. There's a lot of important stuff, and there's so much learning right now. And when we get big moves on the charts, it means there's so much more information coming in. And when we get new information, I get hungry, right? New information means new opportunities. And really, we've been milking it, guys. I'm so proud of the community. I love how this community is connected to my community. And I mean, I've been smashing it. All of the peeps in my community have been smashing it. Gives me a hell's yeah if you're smashing it in the Mubite community. And just let me know if you're struggling, guys. If you're struggling, let me know what you're struggling with. Is it stop hunts? All right, is it fake outs? What's happening? All right, on the monthly time frame, I always start with candle reading. Nice naked chart. We can see what's happening here, and I mean, I'm just going to speed through it, right? I like to be more interactive with you guys and ask the questions, but honestly, these sessions fly. We have 2 days left in the weekly candle. This is a dark cloud cover, right? For the price action candle reading OGs, the gurus, right? You will know all about the dark cloud cover. It is basically a Harami candle in reverse, and it is a reversal candle. We do have 2 days here, so do never trust a candle until it closes, but it will be a slightly bearish reversal signal on the weekly if we do close the dark cloud cover. We also have had 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles on the weekly. It's not absurd to think that we may be in for a little bit of a reversal here, right? It's struggling, Aika. Oh my gosh. Is it struggling with life or is it struggling with trading? And when it comes to life, guys, the struggles are the character building times, right? The struggles are the times that you actually will appreciate in the future, because those are the times that you grow. It sounds so corny, but you can't see growth when it's happening, guys. Risk management is my problem. Interesting. Okay, risk management is my ish. We'll speak a little bit about risk management today. Okay, moving on to the market cipher, we can also see a few controversial signs here, right? We see wave trend coming up. And another reason why you need to zoom out, right? Another beautiful bullish signal. I mean, we should have milked this, right? If you did not milk it, don't get upset. There's always another opportunity. There's always thousands of trades around the corner. But guys, weekly market cipher. Weekly market cipher, VWAP crossed. Money flow turned around. Beautiful entry. Very nice profits on the weekly. These higher time frame swing trades, they seem difficult to get because the weekly time frame does this, right? But actually, if you're patient with them, these are the trades that can just bring your floor of your Mubite account up and just help you along the way. If you're in these larger time frame trades, it's much easier to get the scalping right. All right, so there we go. Money flow is still coming in on the weekly. All right, money flow is the most important part. And we can see it has crossed from red to green. It is still coming in. I have a feeling that we might be seeing a turnaround in money flow. But as most of you know, guys, it's all hanging on geopolitics right now. All right, everything on the charts is literally hanging on Trump. It's not a space I like to be in. I almost wish Trump just left our beloved Bitcoin alone. And we would have had such a nice trajectory, slower up within the bull market, but he came in, right? And he threw the spanner in the works, and now we have to work with that. Everything is relying on, yeah, what's happening with the Strait of Hormuz, what's happening with the war, with the Israel tension, etc., etc. So we just have to take it, right? We all know the main signals right now are coming from Trump, they're coming from Iran, and I mean, they're up and down every day. And really, that's the strategy, guys. They want to confuse you, they want to shake you out. So just be careful. And right now, risk management has to be upped, right? When we are in these times of geopolitical tensions running the market, your risk management has to be improved. Right, has everybody done a summary of the FOMC? Does everybody understand what happened in the FOMC? We did a summary last night in the live stream. Let me know if you want me to go quickly through it again. Very interesting, actually, but pretty much neutral to bearish in the short term. Medium term, also pretty neutral and choppy. Long term, not too bad. It depends what happens when the inflation numbers come out on May 12th. All right, but for now, money flow is still coming in. VWAP has turned around, which is not the reversal sign, right? But it's the sign towards a reversal, and the reversal sign is when VWAP crosses. But something is happening here. We're moving towards the cross on the weekly. Very, very important. All right, RSIs. Some of you, it was in one of the Mubite streams, you will remember I was speaking about the fact that it was a little bit bullish that we were seeing RSI in oversold, because weekly RSI has not been oversold since our last bear market bottom, and little bit of whale manipulation before the long into the bull market. All right, so I was saying this is interesting, guys. Our RSI on the weekly did reset completely from all of these bears. All of the signs were there to short the market, and now we've come up. It's nice to see, right? It's nice to see that RSI does work on the weekly time frame. And if you did enter any kind of a long, when we were in oversold at any point, you are now in profit. And let me be clear here, right? There are, of course, other levels of confluence that you need when you are entering RSI longs. But the main thing to do here on RSI is to make sure that you are managing your entry with a nibble entry, so that when you enter on the RSI, you're managing that trade. Right? First of all, you're waiting till it turns around. Right? That's the main thing. But manage your trade so that you enter with a small amount, low leverage, so if there is drawdown, you can add to your trade. But nice to see that we have come up from there. And of course, the stochastic is the real sign here, right? When your stochastic rhymes with your regular and it crosses over and it trends upward. Boom, there's a time to go long, and it was a beautiful trade. Very, very nice. Nothing beats Market Cipher, right? It's clear. It's clear to see nothing beats Market Cipher, guys. Look at that. Look at that beautiful long entry on the weekly. All right, we're moving. Now we're on the daily time frame. This is my favorite time frame to analyze. It is where I spend the most time, because I think it gives us the most information that we can use on lower and higher time frames. So I'm going to get fully stuck in now. I'm going to try to do this in a way that's not going to complicate our charts too much, but this is really where a lot of the action is. All right, what's the news, guys? What's happening today? What's happening today? I'm just reading the chat. Where's my alpha, guys? I know you guys are traders. Where's my alpha? What's happening on your charts? Mubite is the best, 100%, 100%. The Iran issue is making the market go crazy. Everything's running on the geopolitics, which is annoying, but it doesn't mean that we can ignore it just because it's annoying, right? Short term, looking for sells. Nice. We are retesting resistance. All right, let's see the alpha, guys. News by 3 p.m., but what is it? What is the news? Guys, what is the news? I'll open the economic calendar just now, but let me quickly show you where my short entry was. I dropped this in my Discord step by step. First, we printed the red dot. All right, that's where I got very hungry for the short. Money flow was coming down. VWAP had crossed. Then we printed the bearish divergence, and I said, hells yeah, guys, we're going short, right? I went short on a couple different platforms, And I'm not going to spend too long on this because we are running through time super quickly and we're on the daily and I want to zoom in. I want to do ETH, I want to do market charts, I want to do alts. But a daily bearish divergence is something that we do not sleep on, right? Market Cypher is, in my opinion, the most profitable indicator ever created. And there's something very interesting here, right? Those in my crew will know about this very, very well because I've made it very, very clear. But this was the previous bear flag, and it's quite similar to what we're seeing now, right? There was a last tippy top of the bear flag, and at the same time, there was the bearish divergence. This was indeed the best daily trade we have seen in months, and it was 35% plus. Right, very, very clear from the daily bearish divergence. Something very similar happening here. We see the same thing, bear flag. We see tippy top testing the top of the parallel channel of the bear flag, and we see the daily bearish divergence. Right, so that's where I entered my trade here. In that retest of the top of that parallel channel, I have taken major profits off the trade already. I'm going to talk about that trade and the possible opportunity that is there now. But just going back, guys, I mean, the win rate here is absolutely crazy if we look at the bearish divergences, right? Bearish divergence, massive trade, 40%. Here, again, bearish divergence, very nice trade. And in terms of risk management, let me just give you a little bit of a heads up here, guys. This is how it's done. And I'll actually take you through how I managed my risk in this current bearish divergence trade. All right, so the bearish divergence printed. I entered my trade somewhere in this candle. I did get a nice entry because I was using the lower time frames for a little bit of sniping there. But the basic idea here is to, I'm going to go a little bit fast here, guys. Enter your trade, right, with your stop loss above the previous swing high. My stop was 80K, right? I put my stop at 80K. And really the target for this is down at the fixed range volume profile value area low. Honestly, maybe there's too much on Bitcoin for us to even get through today, but I'm going to push now. All right, so that's the trade. It was very clear on the FRVP. I'm going to leave that off for now because it's going to confuse the charts, but I'm going to go through that shortly. There's the trade. There's the stop loss. And then very simple, guys. There's a few things you do here for risk management. Number one, you identify where your stop should be at first. There are a few reasons why I put mine at 80. First of all, you look for your previous swing high and you give it a little bit of a buffer. Don't put it at the swing high, guys, because that's just asking to be stop hunted, right? You put it above the previous swing high with a decent little bit of buffer. And if you put it there and you see that you're risking too much, then you need to decrease your margin or you need to decrease your leverage. Do not risk more than you are literally willing to lose at your stop loss, right? If you're going to lose your Mubite account at your stop loss, then you have to decrease your margin. You have to decrease your leverage. A stop loss is there to get hit. You should be absolutely fine to take a stop loss, guys. All right, the second major reason I put my stop loss at 80K, there's actually quite a few reasons here, right? But there is very low volume above us up to 84K. We also have a CME gap. I'm going to go through the CME gaps shortly because they're very, very important. I'm also going to go through the FRVP and then you'll see everything coming together. But we have 84K calling our name, CME gap, top, right? We also have very low volume on our fixed range volume profile above us to 84. We can see historically 80 to 84 is a very swift movement area. You do not want to be in a short trade if we break this resistance, retest it and move up, right? That's where I would look for the breakout long with the strong momentum signals. All right, number two for risk management is to make sure that you are, first of all, taking your first take profit at a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Guys, these are my techniques, right? You can adjust them, but after many years of trading and adapting many different pro traders risk management strategies, what I do is I take my first take profit at a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, sometimes earlier. And it's very easy to do. All you do is you measure the distance to your stop, right? For me, it was a 2.33% drawdown. Then you just measure that to your first take profit, and you can see how many traders are doing this. And you can literally see the wick right there where traders took profit at the 1-to-1. Then what you do is you put your stop loss at a break even at the 1-to-1. Once again, this is my strategy, guys. And I'm about to go into partials. All right, but the first thing, this brings your win rate up drastically. All right, you start with a decent size position, 1 to 3, maybe to 5% if you have a higher risk appetite. And then at that 1-to-1, you cash in. You cash in, guys, because that keeps your win rate nice and high, and you had the initial idea correct. Then you put your stop loss to a break even just above your entry with a little bit of fees. And then you can look at taking partials, right? Now you have a zero risk trade and you've already smashed the win rate, right? It's a win. And what I do here, you don't have to do this, but what I do here is I take 50% off. I take 50% off the trade, right? Because that just means that you're banking. You banked a trade, you've added it to a margin, and you're growing your account. Then the rest, I mean, we're far from the TP. The other 50%, all the way down to the TP, can be what we milk and what we let run, right? And now I'm going to show you a few different ways for taking gradual profits. Okay, so basically it's Fibonacci, guys. We all know Fibonacci is there to give you your major levels, and this is where it's at, right? So the previous trend obviously starts there, it ends there. You take your Fib retracement from the wick. Yeah, you have to just reset your API key if it gets reset. All right, so this is it, guys. And we can see that the 1-to-1 was also a 0.5 level. The 0.5 is also, on these larger time frame trades, my first take profit, right? On scalps, I take my first take profit at the 0.382. But with these larger ones, we can see 0.5, and we can see how many traders took profit here. And then your next take profit is right here at the 0.618. You can see how many traders took profit there. Then your next take profit is at the 0.786. We can see how it's not just traders, guys. It's algorithmic bots, right? It's AI. Everybody takes profit at these levels. And then we can see how many traders actually went long directly in the middle of the golden pocket. The golden pocket is your 0.618 to your 786. We can see how many traders went long there. Ahmed caught the 100x. I mean, there were so many communities, so many of my friends. Right, and there's lots of reasons to go long here. It's not just this Fibonacci golden pocket, right? It's also, of course, we have smart money concept all over the place, all over the time frames, etc., etc. All right, so there we go. I'm going to talk about a little bit about if you missed this, right? What we can look for if you do want to get in on the retest of this trade. Basically, what I'm doing now is I have my stops still at break even. I've taken the majority of my trade off the table. And then quite simply, these are the other take profits, guys. Just all the way down at the bottom of the trend, all the way to the top of the trend. These are your take profit levels. We can see the first has been smashed, 0.236. Now we're looking 0.382, 0.5. I'm not saying this has to play out, but these are the take profit levels, and that's how you take gradual TPs. All right, what I'm looking for now is a possible push back up to a triple top. Back here, still watching for that break of 80K with the swift move up to 84K. But yeah, stop losses are in break even. Everything's looking super, super juicy. We raked a nice bit in there, and I'm not going to add to my trade unless we come back up into this juicy zone. Otherwise, there's still something left on the table to take profits all the way down. Okay, now I'm really going to get going, guys, because it's half an hour in. All right, next thing we need to understand here is, of course, our high volume nodes from our fixed range volume profile. All right, my traders know this is the first thing I do when I come onto the charts is always to realign the fixed range volume profile. All right, once you've done the larger analysis, you don't need to do the larger analysis every single day, but if you are coming in, it's been a week, you're coming onto the charts, do the monthly, weekly, daily naked chart analysis. All right, but fixed range volume profile, simple as pie. It is such an absolutely beautiful indicator. It gives you the levels that you really cannot live without here. All right, we can see this spike right here. Massive volume, the level we are testing right now, the absolute most important level, tested, broken back up above, a little bit of a retest, failed below, that's where the trade came in. Now we're currently retesting it. We're watching this level to see if we can come back up and what happens here. Because if we have the power to come up here, look how little volume there is. All right, a little bit of a node there at 81. But otherwise, we're looking only at volume up here between 82 and all the way up to 84. And we'll go into the CME gaps now. But very important, guys. I cannot stress this enough. Draw in these high volume nodes. It's so easy. And these are the levels that you absolutely have to know. Alrighty, and here you can see where my final take profit is at the rinse and repeat all the way down in the value area low. And this is where I'll be looking for my next long trade. There are some very nice smart money concept order blocks here that have not been tapped yet, right? But it's too early to think about that, and we have to watch what happens here. Okay, I hope I'm not confusing you guys too much. What we are going to look at now, it's just so much to do on the charts. We're going to go into the 4-hour smart money concept order blocks and where the potential opportunities are lying. But very important, I want you guys to all draw this major channel in, right? Look for your most touch points, bring it up. This does take time. I have been drawing channels for a very long time, but get involved with it. It is super, super important. It is also a matter of preference how you do this. I have my own style here where I like to draw the major channel and try to use your median line here. There are tutorials on this on my channel, but you can see here how significant this median line is, and that lets you know that you are on the right track for where you're placing your channel. You can then, depending on your style, bring your channels out to your extremes. What I like to do is bring it to the most touch points and wicks and bodies that I can see. And then I like to bring out my extreme, what I call the extreme channels, right? You can also use regression channels for this, but I prefer to draw them in myself. And these are the extreme breakout channels, right? And only once this extreme breakout channel is tested is when you can really see it as a breakout. And we can see now it is looking good. It is looking good in terms of a reversal from this bear market downtrend, because we have slowly but surely made our way horizontally out of this very clear downward sloping market structure, right? This is good. Okay, then what we can see here is, of course, another parallel channel. Try to get these in, guys, because it's very hard to find levels that are this significant, right? These are really, really beautiful levels. Just try draw them in on your most touch points. And yeah, it is a matter of preference. It does take time how you draw these. Spend a little bit of time on it to try to get them the most accurate that you can find it. I do think it's very, very important. We're just going to leave in one channel there for now. All right, then there is this market structure, which is also part of the reason I added to my Bitcoin trade, because we broke down out of this pipeline. When we have a very skinny parallel channel, I call it a pipeline. Here we can see the breakdown out of the pipeline. There was the attempt at a retest. I did add a little bit to my position there. And now we're getting a much nicer view of what's happening. All right, here I'm going to jump down to the 4-hour. There we can see another channel occurring. All right, if you're not trading with these channels, honestly, I think you're missing out on a lot of nice levels. All right, is everybody following? Let me just check I'm not leaving anything out here. Man, there's just so much to look at, right? On this 4-hour time frame, very nice double top pattern. Never sleep on your price action candle reading patterns. Not quite reaching its target, right? A little bit of front run of the double top. I could see the potential of a triple top here, so watching out for that. And then something I have kept my eye here on is this 4-hour regular RSI. Right? We haven't seen overbought on 4-hour regular RSI. That's never a bad idea to step back. And weekends, guys, weekends are for rest and relaxation, right? Make sure you're not over trading. You can't trade every day, guys. Okay, we see 4-hour stochastic looking like we're going to have a reversal soon, but regular not quite there yet. And we can see Market Cipher doing the work for us, getting our beautiful entries in. And of course, there was the Fibonacci there also with the very nice golden pocket entry. Beautiful tap of the 786. Very nice long trade. Okay, I'm going to have to leave a little bit out. There's so much on the 12-hour I wanted to show you guys. But I'm obsessed with technical analysis, right? My crew knows that the charts make me hungry, guys, because there's so much to see. And I love these triple bearish divergences on this 12-hour time frame. So nice. All right, give me a second here. Okay, let's look for some opportunities now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these channels here so we have our support and resistance in, and they're very nice to keep in if you are scalping. All right, great to keep in if you are scalping, because then, I mean, already now, if you're starting to scalp, you can see where these lines are that you have to look out for. And there's actually a bit of a gap here. It's what we can see, right? Remember to keep your fixed range volume profile, high volume nodes in. But actually what I want to do here is clean it up a little bit, right? For the smart money concept traders. And even if you're not an SMC trader, it's never too late to get into it, guys. These are really where the banger opportunities come in. And 4-hour has really been my favorite time frame for smart money concept. All right, Market Cipher, we can see. Don't ask me about Rave, guys. Oh, Rave is one of the most evil things I have ever seen. Like, I didn't think it could get worse with rug pulls, right? But Rave was like so obvious, guys. Never trade a coin that you do not go into CoinMarketCap and research. 99% of the supply was held in the top 10 wallets, guys. 99%. It was an absolutely diabolical strategic plan to take your money. And I hate it. I've been to the Rave DAOs, right? I've been to a Rave DAO in Dubai, a Rave DAO in Singapore. They were amazing. I liked the parties. But man, that rug pull was evil, guys. Never fall for something like that. If you're a sniper, right? Does everybody know what a sniper is? The sniper is the one that pulls the rug. Then you can mess with a coin like Rave. But guys, research your coins. Research the top 10 holders. I'm not going to waste time going into that now because it's done. But I told my community, I told everyone before the dump, guys, this is evil, this is bad, it's the worst I've ever seen. Anyway, 4-hour here for the Market Cipher traders, we can see we are coming up to a nice trigger wave red dot. VWAP confused, money flow still coming in. So there's time here, guys. And if you want to get in on the potential daily short, there is no telling that this daily short is going to keep going down. But if you are in FOMO on the potential daily short, the 4-hour entry would be your bet, right? This is also where I got a nice entry here on the daily, because I just came to the 4-hour, guys, and I looked for the bearish divergence. All right, there's the VWAP cross, there's the money flow coming down. In this candle was your ultimate entry into the BTC daily short. And we're retesting that entry now really, really nicely. I'm happy to take the stop loss at entry here and just see if we get a little bit of a higher move, and then we're looking for the signals here. It's not coming yet. Money flows up. VWAP needs to cross. Watch the Market Cipher tutorials if you need them. And now we're going to get into the juicy stuff, right? The 4-hour time frame is giving us some beautiful opportunities here. Rave and River. Yeah, no. Did anybody get wrecked on Rave, guys? It's not... Whew, it's not fun. It's not fun. Stop loss on BTC. Was that stop loss in profit? All right, so does everybody know what smart money concept is? Are you guys all down with it? It's actually quite simple. It took me longer than it should have to understand, but I'm going to go quite quickly here. $12 million. Eesh. Yeah, those guys, they made billions. They never need to work again, right? They're rugged. And it's so evil. They took so much money from so many people. And the exchanges were like, when Zach XBT exposed it, and then the exchanges were like, oh, we didn't know. Like, we'll look into it. Like, of course they knew. Like, of course they could all see. They could all see the wallet holders. They're like, they knew what they were doing, right? But they got paid a lot of money to list the token. And of course, you would hope that the founders wouldn't pull it, even if it's 99% in the top 10 holders. But if it is, I mean, that should be illegal, guys. That should be illegal. If there are any regulations that should come out on coins, it should be something around how much the founders are able to hold. And that should be the first thing you look at. Market cap. How much of that market cap is in the founders' wallets? Okay, you guys are getting me worked up here. Okay, first thing we look at here, guys, is this skinny market structure. And this shows you again where you could have got a beautiful entry. This skinny market structure with the break of structure and then the previous green candle, right? It's a big candle, but it did give you the zone, right? We can see the bearish order block. Beautiful, beautiful entry into the previous short, right? I now see this order block as being invalidated unless we come back up above it, and then it can potentially be a breaker block, which could send us down or up, just as a support and resistance flip zone. All right, of course, what we are looking at now in terms of the next bearish order block is this upward sloping market structure here. Here's your break of structure. There was an impulse move there, and then we go to this. Right, and what I like to do here on this previous green candle, there is a lot of controversy among the SMC traders. Is it wick to wick? Is it candle body? What I like to do here is, it does depend on the time frame and the risk appetite, but I will take wick to wick, and then I will take candle body, and I will see that as just the middle of the order block and a little bit of a sniper overlap, right? And the main thing to make sure of here, if you are looking for the short, this is where I would look, right? Stop loss again at 80K because of the low volume above it. And very important to obviously just make sure you have your high volume node drawn in there. So let's quickly pop them back. I've been trying to keep this chart nice and clean today. Let's quickly pop these back, guys. But especially, these big high volume nodes. And when you see it like this, you can draw in a little zone. Boom. Even just those ones for now are fine, right? And there it is, guys. We're pumping above this high volume node right now, which means we could see the push up to this SMC order block. And then, as I was saying, it's important, never set a limit entry in an order block and just leave it. All right, that is a recipe for getting wrecked. One of the most important things that took me the longest to learn in SMC is how to wait for a reaction at an SMC order block. Right, the reaction is this kind of movement coming in, and you see it on the lower time frames, and you use your other indicators like your RSI rhyming with your stochastic, right? Your market cipher trigger waves, any other confluence that you see coming in for a strong reaction at the order block. That's when you start to get bearish. Otherwise, price can easily break through the resistance if there is enough money coming in. But that's where I am scoping the next BTC short. And it would be a potential triple top there. All right. Then we have this high volume zone. Don't let it confuse you now with the order blocks. But we can see where Ahmed smashed his beautiful, beautiful trade here. Very, very nice. So here's your... Let's get this right here, guys. Here's your downward sloping market structure. There's your break of structure, your change of character, your impulse move. So this candle was your bullish order block. There at candle body. There at candle wick. Right? Nice and simple. SMC for the win. Nice reaction first there. Boom. Then reaction there. Boom. Can see how accurate this method is. SMC, guys. So nice. And bullish order block to bearish order block. Beautiful trading. Okay, and now it's about waiting for those zones. And we can see a very nice zone below us. Right, and what I would do here, because we can see, okay, so let me take it nice and slow here, right? I don't want to confuse you guys. But here's your downward sloping market structure. It's quite clear to see. We can see a break of structure. We can see a relatively strong impulse move. Previous candle in the other direction is this one, right? And when you start to get this overlapping of bullish order blocks, you start to get your sniper entries, right? Can you guys see where these two bullish order blocks overlapped? Magnificent entry, guys. I know SMC is confusing at first, but you don't get more sniper than this. You really don't. Overlapping this one with this one. It's simple. To the dollar entry. Whatever. 100x, $10. Whatever, guys. 4% up. Right? 423% up. Super nice. Okay, and now where it gets really interesting here. Take everything out for now. Okay, because this order block has already been tapped, yes, it can turn into a breakup block, but I wouldn't trust it really again for the long, right? Oh man, we're out of time. I'll go a little bit longer today, guys, if you guys are cool with that. I'll go a little bit longer today because there is, man, I wanted to do so much more with you guys. It takes time sometimes, guys. It takes time and you can't rush it. Right? So here, because of the overlap at the sniper, this one's still valid. Right? This one's still valid. You got the sniper tap. So there has been some liquidity drained out of this order block. But this whole order block, I would still call valid. And what I would do now, when you've already seen a tap of that order block, is you go down to your 1 hour. And then you become a little bit more sniper here on your 1 hour. All right, downward sloping market structure. I would even call it nice and tight there. All right, break of structure, impulse move. Here it is. Here it is, guys. That's the level. The 1 hour order block within the 4 hour order block. I mean, it's always nice to overlap your time frames. All right, so that's a little bit more of a sniper entry there. Keep in mind, this is a 1 hour time frame trade, but that's where I'll be looking for the next little bit of a sniper entry there on the long. And I wouldn't be surprised if there is a Fibonacci level there or multiple Fibonacci clusters, right? So you can see that this is a 0.618 Fibonacci level on this previous trend within a trend. Right, and let's see if we get an overlap on the larger Fibonacci trend at that level. Woo! Guys, the clustering at that level is real, right? You see the 0.382. This is crazy. There's a 0.382 at the bottom of that 1 hour order block. There's a 0.618 at the top of that order block. 74K is looking juicy. 74K is looking juicy. Keep it in mind. Okay, so there's still more stuff I wanted to do. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Do you want me to zoom in here on Bitcoin? I think we've laid it out quite nicely. Or do you want me to do Ethereum? Do you want me to do market charts, right? Like S&P just hit all-time high, USDT dominance, Bitcoin dominance, total 3. Or do you want me to do some altcoin setups? I'm here for you guys, right? Let me know what you guys want to do. Ethereum and some altcoins. Sol. All right, let's see, guys. Drop what you want. Where's the watch list? Hype, TRX, Render, and Near. Nice, man. Should we just do some altcoins? Honestly, Ethereum, you can just do what I've done here on Bitcoin on Ethereum, guys. You can do what I've done here on all of the coins, but I'm not sure if we need to do Ethereum now. It's very similar, but just a little bit more volatile. I like that watch list. I like the watch list dropped here. And who's bringing the alpha today here? Where's that watch list? Dahir Adam. Oh, favorite crypto coins. Okay, Hype. I also like Hype. TRX. I love Render. I love trading near. They are nice coins, guys. Well done. Trade the high caps, guys. You will learn as you go on and on and on. The high caps are the less manipulated coins, right? So just the sooner the better that you can start to trade the high caps, the better. Avalanche, Sol, Render, Near, even Tau. Okay, Sol. Everyone is saying Sol, Sol and ETH. Altcoins, please. Avalanche. But where are the setups, right? Drop for me in the chat an altcoin with a direction or a setup or a pattern. High market cap. Nice. We'll do Sol because I see Sol. Cardano from Sophia on-chain on X. If you are watching on X, guys, try join us on YouTube. Let's push the YouTube algorithm. Everybody smash that like. Share the stream. Let's grow this channel. Aave. So Aave had a hack on Culp, right? So Culp is one of the ecosystem coins within Aave, and they had a hack. So there have been some beautiful opportunities there, right? I got the long, I got the short on 100x. It was absolutely lovely, but it was rodeo, and it was a little bit more advanced. But always just research, guys. If you're trading a coin, go to CoinMarketCap, enter that coin into CoinMarketCap. What's the news? All right, have you guys watched my video on fundamental analysis? What's the news? Right, break down the tokenomics. Never trade blind. Doge. There was a nice Doge long, hey? Okay, well, I'm going to do a whirlwind quick on ETH because I can see you guys are wanting ETH. All right, what's really important for me here is ETH against BTC. All right, and it's a little bit of struggle street here on ETH against BTC. And this is really, for me, what's going to be the game changer when it comes to the end of the bull market and the start of an altcoin season. All right, but if you zoom out on ETH, we can see something very interesting happening here. This is ETH against BTC. And this is where I like to start, right? Because this is what's so important. ETH against BTC basically defines the ratio of what's more profitable to trade, altcoins or BTC, all right? And we can see ETH is struggling within this market structure to the downside. We can see where the levels are below us. And I am starting to get a little bit greedy here on altcoin portfolio margin position trades on low leverage. Because if you're trading on cross and you're starting to enter longs on altcoins, you can have no liquidation level, no stop loss, and as low as the coins go, incrementally lower you can add to the trade. And let me be very clear here, they are very small entries. They're nibble entries. But the risk to reward here on ETH against BTC is huge. Right, very likely we do see the flip when we come into bull market from Bitcoin back into Ethereum. And that's when altcoins have this really nice risk to reward ratio. Man, this could be a 3-hour stream. There's so much to look at. But y'all are doing very well. You're keeping the chat hot. Okay, you can see my Ethereum chart is like a little bit messy, but there's very, very simple things happening here. I'm going to try break it down very quickly. All right, one of the biggest symmetrical triangles we have ever seen on the charts on the weekly time frame. We saw the breakout. Never trust a breakout without a retest, right? Look at this. Beautiful mitigation all the way back down, fall below the apex, and now back into squeezing into those support and resistance flips. Resistance flipped into support, support flipped into resistance. But really what I want you guys to do here is fixed range volume profile, high volume nodes, smart money concept on the daily, do your channels, everything we did on BTC, do it here on Ethereum. All right, and like I say, it's very similar to what's happening on Bitcoin, but it's just a little bit more volatile. All right, let's do Sol. We're almost through time. I'll do a little bit of altcoins for you guys because you've been amazing, but we still need to do our giveaway. Where's my Sol chart? Yeah, I've been screening so many altcoins. All right, so Sol seems to be lagging behind a little bit here. Lagging behind, there was a break of structure. We have seen a breakdown below this, so keep in mind the structure. It is important, right? So pull it out. You can even see here, you know, on that extreme side of the channel that I explained earlier, we can see that, you know, this is the level that Sol is struggling to regain. What is good here is there's sideways action, guys. All right, those of you who know me well will know I always say sideways is good, right? Sideways is whale accumulation. So in the long term, this is not bad price action for Sol. But you can see where my levels are for buys, and they go all the way down, right? And this is much larger time frame analysis, but I'm not getting super hungry on buys for Sol here because Sol, compared to some of the other altcoins within this bear market, is still relatively high, right? So many other altcoins, according to their previous bottoms, are like down here, right? And it just, I mean, Sol is a mammoth. Sol is a mammoth, guys. So really, if you're going long here, long term, keep in mind managing the trade all the way down here. So I'm being much more patient, but I'm guessing you guys want some short-term analysis here. So you just do the due diligence, you pull in the fixed range volume profile, and it is nice to see that Sol has a little bit more opportunity here. It's nice to see the ecosystem lag a little bit, right? Because it does give us some opportunities. But right now, nothing. Nothing, guys. We don't enter at POC. We don't even enter here above POC. You're looking for trades in this value area low, trades in this value area high. Let's check the daily market cipher. It looks like we could be getting a long coming in relatively soon. Not ideal because it's not in your fixed range volume profile. RSI is also not really where we want it, but stochastic is turning around. Yeah, I would say if you do want to trade this, ultimately you want your swings from there, right? If you are scalping a little bit of the lower time frames, then just trade the SMC order blocks, but make sure you are getting confluence and reactions at the order blocks. And then you've got a nice trend here. All of your micro trends within this trend will give you order blocks. Same thing here. All of your micro trends within this trend will give you order blocks. I'll just do a few of them around price action right now, right? There are also really nice SMC indicators that you can use, which can save you time. But I would highly recommend learning smart money concept. All right, but these are nice. These are nice bearish order blocks. Honestly, guys, I would say you got to be patient with Sol here. You really want value area high or value area low. So yeah, I would say look for this kind of a situation. I know it's not what you want to hear for the scalpers. All right, for the scalpers, let me go to the 1 hour and see what I can find for you. All right, above. You just look here, break of structure, impulse move, previous green candle. It's huge. It's huge and it's already being tapped. A little bit annoying when an order block is that big. And when it is that big, just look towards the middle of the order block. Make sure you are getting the reaction. And then above, I think this one looks quite nice. All right, the doji often acts as a really nice order block. That one's looking quite nice. And then you just look below you for something that hasn't been mitigated. And again, this one is nice, guys. All right, so this one did give the long already. I know I'm rushing here, but I have been trading SMC for a long time, so it's visually quite easy to do, right? And we can see this was quite a nice sniper order block, but this is also a nice learning, right? The reaction at the order block. All right, if you really want to get in with the limit order, you make sure that your stop loss is like nice buffer, but it's not the best way to do it, right? You see the swing failure pattern coming in, and then you hop on the scalp, guys. But smart money concept, bullish order block to bearish order block, beautiful trade. 1 hour time frame, not bad at all, 3% up. Okay, and then this is the next one here on the 1 hour time frame. When you see a big impulse move like this, you can get hungry, right? The bigger the impulse move, the better the order block, really. You can go wick to wick here. And there's another soul, a potential soul entry. And this one's nicer because it's in the value area low. All right, we're over time, guys, but we'll do one more coin. So just vote for me in the chat. Yeah, news is driving the market, hey. No stress, Salvation, most welcome. It is a nice market approach. So, guys, I use SMC as one of my confluences with Market Cipher and FRVP. Swing will go below 50. Yeah, I'm also looking for sell below 50. Just because it's a little bit, in my opinion, still pumped in terms of the general market structure on the monthly. All right, Imtia, glad you're enjoying. Removed BCH. Interesting. I have traders in my community that are loving BCH. Volume profile and market profile. Nice. Never trust a breakout without a retest. BCH just sucking up liquidity. No clear structure. Guys, BCH has not been the worst to trade. Depends on your strat. Pumping and dumping without solid structure. Always confluence mandatory, exactly, right? Reactions at SMC order blocks. BNB, ADA. All right, okay, we got 3 BNBs. We'll do BNB, guys. But I also saw 2 ADAs. So we'll end off with BNB and ADA. I do like trading BNB because it's high cap, massive cap. Right, there's a lot of money in this coin, which means it's less manipulated. And also, I don't think CZ manipulates, right? Personally, I don't think CZ's a bad guy. He has enough to manipulate this, but I don't think he does, right? We can see here 1 hour, very nice, clear market structure. It's always important to just zoom out and see what's happening. Very nice range. Very nice daily range here on BNB. Right, fixed range volume profile. First thing you do, pull it up. Guys, this is beautiful. Why have I not been trading BNB? Maybe it's because I don't like Binance. But it's still a good coin to trade. It is still a good coin to trade. These are opportunities all over the place, guys. All over the place. Look at this daily time frame. Oh, beautiful. High volume node. Boom. Market cipher trigger wave. Boom. Lovely trade. Mid value area high all the way down to low value area low. 15% down, clear as day on the daily time frame. Then bullish divergence. So nice. Bullish divergence, money flow coming in, VWAP crossed up. Beautiful trade, value area low to value area high, 12% up. Yeah, so this is cool, right? We can see something's happening here. But first of all, for the swing trades, it's a no-go zone right now. If you go in at POC, you're literally throwing your money into a one-arm bandit gambling machine and just seeing what happens, right? It can go either way from here. We can see that we're leaning towards a retest of the POC up to value area high because VWAP is turning around, money flow is turning around. It looks like we're going to get a green dot. But really, POC is a place to take profits and judge direction, right? So if we're at POC now, you're taking profits from the short. And most of my traders will know I love hedge trading, right? So you should really be in the long and the short, and you should be in profit on both of those trades right now. Okay, so really the fixed range volume profile is telling us that, guys, it's pretty much a no-go for a little bit of time. I know that's not what you want to hear, but you want to be up here or you want to be down here. Draw in your high volume nodes if you want to do some scalping on the lower time frames. And yeah, then get into it, right? I'll do some of those order blocks quickly to give you guys some juicy levels. All right, so I always start with the 4 hour first, and we can see, I mean, it's nice, guys. Smart money concept is playing out so nicely, right? Look at this. There's your break of structure with the retest of the structure. Nice impulse move. There's your previous red candle. Sniper entry, right? It is at the POC, but it is a scalp on the 4-hour if you are trading SMC. And then here we can see, I mean, it's just trades on trades, right? There is your, there's your structure. There's your impulse move. And now if you see a cluster of green candles like this, what you can do is you can just use your previous green candle. Boom, sniper entry. But you can also just cluster these last two candles. Much of a muchness. But there we can also see beautiful entry. And then here's where things got a little bit out of hand. All right, little bit out of hand above the order block. Again, why you have to wait. You have to wait for the reaction. And we can see what was happening, right? It was just a retest of this support and resistance flip at the value area high. And yeah, absolutely nailed by Market Cypher on the 4-hour time frame. Once you got the bearish divergence, that's the reaction around the smart money concept order block that you need. All right, so from here, looking forward in time. Just clean this up slightly. All right, so this one I would say is pretty mitigated now. The liquidity has been eaten up. We are making a move from that order block there. This one also looks like the liquidity is being pretty eaten up, so don't trust them too much anymore. The next one here on the 4-hour that I would go for is this crazy looking candle here for the long. But remember, right, this is 4-hour, and this one is looking a bit more juicy because it's at the value area low. And then here, price action is crazy here. Let's try get this nice and accurate, right? There we go. Nice market structure. Strong impulse move. So I would literally look here. You can cluster those candles, but that's where I would look, guys. SMC order block at a nice high volume node. 674. So a little bit of patience needed now. And you can also see a nice one down here. And then just overlap the 1-hour order blocks into these 4-hour order blocks and get your like more sniper entries. Is everyone following? First thing with BTC and ETH, sometimes I check out Sol. Not all the time though. It's not on my watch list. Spyro trades. Some of the best traders I know only trade Bitcoin. It all depends what you like. All right, what's happening in the news, guys? All right, there are the OBs. I'll quickly do ADA. We are out of time. We have to hop off. But to be honest, I'm having fun with you guys. Okay. My baby Cardano. What's happening? Sheesh. This is looking juicy, guys. All right, I tend to be a little bit biased here because I love Cardano. I love Cardano so much, guys. It's like my favorite coin. And yeah, I mean, for me, it's inevitable. All right, just like in the Matrix. You hear that sound? That is the sound of inevitability back up above $1. I think these are hella juicy levels on the higher time frame. All right, this is the kind of coin where you can do your nibble entry that I'm talking about. But let's zoom in here. Similar to Sol. Very similar to Sol, what we've seen here. Very nice sideways action. Very nice. Now we had upward sloping market structure. Now we're in downward sloping market structure. The median line is really what's super significant here. And we can see we're just coiling around that with a little bit of a symmetrical triangle. Big squeeze, guys. Nice move for Cardano coming in. Let's pull this fixed range volume profile up. And we can see the last potential entry at the tap of the FRVP low, right? Don't ape in at the wrong time here on these daily trades. Just clean this up. Okay, quickly drop in your high volume nodes. I'm going to end off in the next minute or two, guys. It's been awesome. All right, then come to your 4 hour. Of course, we are looking really for the high quality trades in these zones. But if you are scalping with SMC and you are using enough confluence, then you can just look at these 4 hour order blocks and we can see this one. I mean, it was lovely, right? So here is what I talk about when I talk about the wick to wick, and then also the body. It's uncanny. It's uncanny, right? Liquidity got eaten up on the wick and then liquidity smashed on the body. Sniper entry at the value area low. Super nice. We also got the 4 hour green dot here. Stochastic was also giving us a nice rip. So yeah, it's a beautiful strategy, guys. It's a strategy that we've been building over the years. Okay, and from here, you can see, I mean, this one has already been tapped, but there could possibly be like the overlap. Well, it already was tapped there. Sniper entry to the dollar at the overlap. So I hate to say it, but it looks like the longs for now may have been a little bit missed, right? Just SMC after SMC after SMC. Beautiful, beautiful taps. If you are looking, I would look within this zone only with a nice signal. And then there are potential shorts here. And let's go to the 1 hour for this. Okay, so for the shorts, we just look at the upward sloping market structures. And the breakdown impulse move here is your 1 hour currently being tested. I would put another one here. Do what I did with the bodies. Ooh, already tapped. Do what I did with the bodies overlapping. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then a little bit above. Yeah, a little bit confusing here on this one. In my opinion, I would go for this top candle body because it's also snuggled nicely between these two high volume nodes. But yeah, patience required, guys. Everything's a little bit squeezed because of the FOMC and the pumps and dumps that have been happening. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I think it's been awesome. Let's do a bit of a giveaway. So let's see who's been keeping my chat the hottest. Who's been keeping my chat the hottest? Oh, it's so hard for me to pick. I love you all. I love you all, guys. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go right back to the beginning. I'm going to see who's still here. All right, who's been here the whole time? Daily Insights, Salvation, Jeffrey, Musa. Early birds get the worm, right? Salvation, you've kept the chat hot, bro. Salvation, are you still here? You've kept the chat hot. Jeffrey, are you still here? You've kept the chat hot. Okay, Salvation. Let's do one to you, brother. You've kept it hot the whole time. Congrats. 5K two-step challenge. Jeffrey, are you still here, bro? Freya, you've also been here the whole time. Man, this is hard. Usually I use random. It's so hard, guys. Jeffrey. All right, one to you, brother. One to you, Jeffrey. Congrats. And guys, I can't give you all, unfortunately. But we got more sessions incoming, right? We got more sessions incoming. So if you do win, just open a ticket on the Mubite Discord. All right. Musa. Have you been here the whole time? Are you still here, Musa? Freyo. Are you still here? You are. Freyo. One to you, brother. Congrats, congrats. Okay, so we have 3, guys. We have 3. Sophia on chain, $2.3 thousand payout. Congratulations. Suki Solves. Suki Solves, are you still here? Nah, congrats. 2.3K, that's awesome. All right. Oof, this is tough. You guys have kept it hot. You guys have kept it so hot. Okay, I'm looking. Give me one sec. Spyro, you've also been keeping the chat hot. You're still here, right? Oh man, guys, this is hard. This is so hard. All right, Spyro. Congrats, man. Congrats. Oof, the last one. Please don't be upset if I don't pick you guys. It's a lot based on my choice, and we've always got, right, 2 weeks from now we'll be back. This is hard. I think it's so hard, guys, but I think Biggie, you've also kept the chat hot, right? You've kept the chat hot throughout. Well deserved. I don't know you personally, but well deserved, man. Biggie, you're still here, right? All right. Oh, apologies to those who did not win. Do not let it get you down. I hope you have gotten some alpha out of this. Congrats to Salvation, Jeffrey, Freyo, and Biggie. You kept it hot. Well deserved. Thank you so much, everybody. It has been absolutely awesome. I appreciate you all sticking through. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Feel free to pop me a DM on any of my accounts if you need any help with anything. Super hard to hop off from this community because I love you all. But please, please remember, always play from a position of power and strength. Use your stop loss and do not get wrecked. So much love and respect to each and every one of you. Peace out.